Americans,
Nation.
CFA, what's up,
Hey.
T-fan? Nick.
Wow, you did not back down. He said, "No, I'm
Neither
getting
did
it out.
you,
I'm getting
sucker.
it out."
That's right. Chargers never know how to quit, even though we stink. So we are here for our 3 wickets. That's right, our 3 wickets. Ireland versus England. ODI match 3. There we go. And can I just start off by saying this is why I'm so glad we got into cricket. Because when you watch any sport, you can watch it casually, you can watch it not non-casually. But if you don't understand, in my opinion, the strategy behind the sport, the strategy behind some of the gameplay, you just see it as a simple game where a guy's got a bat, a guy's got a ball, let's see who scores more runs. It's way more than that. And I don't understand everything about cricket. But let me just say right off the bat, I was stressing from minute 1 when I noticed the score was not so high. That's right, the run rate. I was nervous about that. Now, technically I was proven wrong because they won with one ball left to go. But to your credit, and I'm sure you're going to mention this, there was some missed catches on England's side. There was this or that. I was humble brag. I was happy that I was able to pick up on that strategy where you want to get that run rate up there and try to keep that consistently throughout the match so that you give yourself a chance. Now, technically, the people that were saying, don't worry about it, Nick, it's not a big deal. They can chase after the third power play plays. It came super, super close. So I was right. I was wrong, but I'm most excited because we are understanding the strategy of the match, which made it even more exciting.
I mean, I feel like I lost twice, and I put it in the chat. I feel like I lost twice. A, you get to brag about Ireland winning on England's soil. Okay. B, you get to brag about the run rate because those people who said it didn't matter. Look, it came down to they needed 1 run and they had 2 balls. Okay, so they actually ended up having an extra ball, 1 extra ball. Really, come on now. Run rate does matter.
No ball, that free hit. Ooh.
And I will tell you, it goes back to me thinking to myself, they put in, I think it was, is it Hector, something like that? Tector. And they put Tector in there. And I'm like, why won't they put the guy in who got 50 on 24 balls? Okay. Why don't they put in their better batsmen? And again, they won. So, hindsight's 2020, right? We're armchair quarterbacking here, as they say. But let's be honest, Ireland fans. Let's be honest. You guys were sweating that one out. You were sweating that one out because it came way too close. If it went to a super over, I don't think Ireland has it in them to beat England, okay? I really don't. I think England will go back and beat them at that point. And they were what? Well, they said it wouldn't go into a super over. It just finishes in a tie, I think. In the chat, somebody said it wouldn't go into a super over. But
yeah, it wouldn't even go to super over. How about that? A tie? Give me a break.
A tie? Really? When you guys could have ended up getting the win and getting the 10 points you needed for the standings? So hats off to you. Good call on that. It was frustrating, but it is what it is. With that being said,
how did that taste? How did that taste?
You know what? Where's my fork and my knife? So I can start
mouthwash, man.
Oh my
gosh! Right now.
It's funny because when you listen to the beginning of our live stream, and after I got off, I had to drive my son to go take a placement test, and then I was running errands in Savannah, and we were listening to it in the car, and we were so off on our predictions. We're like England under 200, and we're like, realistically, we think that England's gonna win, but I think you said something like you think that you hope Ireland can pull it out by 2 wickets. Cousin, they pulled it out by a lot more than 2 wickets, but your faith was there. And I give you that. This was an exciting game. This is why we watch sports, okay? Again, if it's just put it on paper, let a computer crunch the numbers, then you know what? The Yankees are going to win every single World Series. The Dodgers are going to be in every single World Series. The Lakers are going to right now win because they got the best team. It's not necessarily about having the best team on paper. You got to go out and perform. And England had the best team, number 1 versus number 11, but they did not perform. Oh, let's just get into our 3 wickets right now. You gave me the honor of going first last time, so I'm going to let you go first. Nick, start wherever you want to start, and I'll piggyback off of you.
All right, so what did I dislike? Just to piggyback on your point real quick, Herm Edwards was a coach in the NFL for many years. He was a player too, and he coined the phrase in a rant of his own, we play to win the game. That's why they play the game, is you cannot let the stats and the analysis and all that kind of stuff determine. You've got to play it. And to England's credit, they were down several players who were on the test side who were trying to rest because of COVID or whatever. But Ireland, I give you all the credit. You pulled it out. I did not. My faith might have been there early, but I did not think it was going to happen. So I'm super, super happy. So what did I dislike on the England side? This is going to sound like our 3 wickets for day 2. But I'm unoriginal, I guess, because the bowlers, there was nobody. I mean, you had Sterling out there. You had Balburney after Delaney goes out pretty early, and they just made camp. They did even a more impressive thing than Willie and Billings in match 2 because they both went for a century. There was not one bowler besides the man of the series, Willie, earlier on that can get a wicket. There was no one that can go out there and get a wicket. You're talking about guys giving up 70 runs, 60 runs, and they're just sitting there. You thought Sterling was sweating? He was sweating victory. These bowlers were just sweating like, we can't get these guys out. I thought these were the number 11 squad. I thought this was Ireland, for crying out loud. You got guys on CFA that can't even say Ireland correctly, and these guys are coming out getting a double century. There was no bowler that could even face my man Sterling. And Sterling seems like such a regular guy, does he not? He seems like the kind of guy who lives down the street, who's a guy that we would hang out with, that we'd have over for some nachos. And I'm not trying to say that in a negative way. I'm just saying this guy seems like a regular guy, but man, can this guy rake, as you say. This guy can rake.
Sterling brought back the dad bod. Hashtag dad bod, baby. All right. Sterling is one of my favorite players now because he said, listen, we don't all got to look like Adonis, all right? We're not all chiseled features, but I'm going to go out there and I'm going to rake, cousin. And he went out there and he raked, you know what I'm saying? Probably after that, went and had a chili dog, you know what I'm saying? Something to that effect, you know, had himself a pint. But my man can rake. That's what matters.
You don't think he sent a tweet to David Beckman and said, hold that, cousin? I mean, come on. With his little scorecard and his man of the match medal. Come on. But this guy, he seems like a regular guy. He seems like a humble guy, too, out there. Like, I mean, he's out there. He's focused. But he seems like he's a little nervous at all times. This guy can seriously play, not just on the defense side, but this guy can rake. This guy is that guy that's coming up there like, oh, we got this guy to deal with. Oh, he's in the opening partnership. Are you kidding me? So England, what I did not like is they did not have a bowler to stop that attack. It's not the last time I'm going to mention Sterling in my our 3 wickets. What I did not like on the Ireland side, again, I'm going to steal something from Gabe. You steal the good stuff, right? I'm stealing some great golden stuff from Gabe. He mentioned about the captain and the lineup, and this is going to kill our audience. I know they're going to be like, you guys are crazy. Not everyone can perform at their best. They won the match, Nick. What are you talking about? Well, obviously, I'm not that smart because that lineup was great where you had Sterling and you had Balburney. I'll even give you a Delaney. Every once in a while, you're going to get a wicket. But then when they noticed, and I know this because it was on the test, for crying out loud. Maybe it's only in test cricket, but I'm pretty sure a captain can make that last-minute call where they're yanking that player and they're switching. They're saying, hey, Camphor, suit up. You're going in right now for Tector. But you had Tector, you had O'Brien, which on paper, O'Brien seems like the logical guy. And they both got the job done barely. And maybe Camphor's not your 4s and not your 6 guy. I don't know. But you're telling me that there wasn't a last-minute audible you could have made to prevent that awesome chase from being just a few runs short? Again, at the end of the day, the captain had a century. He made the right call. But in my opinion, it did not need to be that close. It did not. I would have said, had the earlier guys be a little more aggressive. Sterling, we know you can rake it. Why don't you just put a little more oomph on that? If you can, protect the wickets, obviously, and then make that last-minute audible where Tector, you know we love you. You're a young guy, but I got to throw my man Camphor out there, or I got to go throw someone else that we know can get us a few 4s and 6s, and if they get out, then we'll throw Tector in there to be able to shore it up. I like Tector a lot. I was looking up a little bit on his bio and his playing career. This guy is going to be a stud. This guy is young, but I've talked too much. Those are my 2 things that I disliked on each side, but I'm grasping at straws in Ireland because at the end of the day, they won the match.
I mean, to your credit, and honestly, here's the thing. Your boy Tector, 5 swings and misses. 5. That's
That was
5
it?
balls wasted. All
That's
right.
it?
That,
Jeez.
in that very last in that 10 the last 10 over when Tector came in, it was 5 swings and misses. That's almost a whole over he wasted. That's almost a whole over. Okay, and it came down to 1 ball. 1 ball, people. Let's not act like it wasn't that close. It super was. And that's why I'm like, I don't care what what tradition is. I don't care what the lineup is or what's on the back of the baseball card, what you did yesterday, what you did. Who's producing right now? Who's hot right now? The Yankees did something that I will tell you this. Aaron Boone, I give you credit because Joe Girardi would have never dropped his prize catcher down the 7th or 8th or wherever they put Gary Sanchez, but the guy is 1 for 22. You know what? It's a short season. You're down at 7. Yes, you hit 30 home runs as a catcher. I don't care. You're going down to 7th. You're hurting the team. You're going down to 8th. You don't bat one of your best guys up at the bottom just because, oh, he's not a veteran or there's other guys. You just don't do that way. So I agree with you. All right. Out of my 3 wickets, what did I dislike on the England side? Oh my God. Oh my God. Campbell was out there. It was like the spirit of Campbell was out there. Catch a ball, field a ball. Nothing to take away, honestly, from Ireland's performance. But Ireland, you guys got dropped twice. All right. Your boy with 146, I think it was Sterling, 142, 146. He got dropped twice. Okay. Vincent, you know what? Oh my God, he needs to go back to fielding school. It was a pop-up. Look, a pop-up. That's all it was. It was a pop-up. Catch a pop-up. Okay, it wasn't like drive at you. It wasn't even a hard play, bro. It's so frustrating. And something I've noticed, even and someday we teach kids at the high school level, at the club level, you turn and run. You run to where the ball is gonna drop. You get under it. You don't run with your hands out like this. You ever seen guys run in the outfield? That slows you down. Run till you get to the spot and then you try to make the catch. You don't run with your hands out like that. That was so bad. Which means, England, you need to work on your technique. Your coaches need to work on your coaches because there were drops all over the place. I could point out 3 or 4 drops. Like I said, I thought Campbell was playing on this team, but it wasn't just him. It wasn't. The biggest drop was Vincent because that would have gotten him out. And listen, you guys, Ireland won by 1. Congratulations to them. I'm happy for them. But 3 drops, come on. People are going to say drops are part of the game. Not those drops. Fix it. If that's part of the game, then you better fix it. Maybe, and people said it, they got baseball coaches coming in to work with some of these club teams. Maybe it's to work on fielding, and maybe it's to work on catching a pop-up, for the love of Christ. Are you kidding me? That was the worst. Oh my God, it was a pop-up, Nick. It was a pop. It wasn't a line drive. It wasn't something you had to dive for. It was a pop-up, just up in the air, catch it. It's not that hard. Oh my gosh. That's my bad defense loses games. I don't care who you are. Defense wins championships. Catch the ball. Catches win matches. It's that simple. That's what I disliked. What did I dislike on the Ireland side? You stole my thunder a little bit there, but I'll give you the fact of the lineup. Tector, if they put you in there, do your job. Or give up your wicket. There's 7 wickets left? Hit the ball. He had 5 swings and misses. Put the bat. People in the chat were like, for the love of Christ, put the bat on the ball. If you get out, so what? Get runs. This dude was, at one point, he did a forward defense on a ball. What good does that do you? A dot does no good right now. You need runs, even if it's 1 run. And don't say, oh, 1 run doesn't matter. Ireland won by 1 run. 1 run matters. That was dumbfounding to me when he actually played and blocked the ball defensively. Bro, you go out, there's 7 wickets left standing. You go out there and you swing for the fences. If I get out, I get out. Because there's other guys behind me that could do the job. But you don't waste an entire over, basically, and make it that close. I lost twice. I did, because Nick got to prove his point, and England won any which way. So I had to hear it twice, and it was so frustrating for me. Tector, do your job, because maybe they didn't replace you in this game necessarily. But you know what? Somebody's knocking on the door. Yes, he is. Camper's just chomping at the bit. Like, coach, you see what I do? You see what I did? I ain't never missed 5 ball swings. You know what I mean? I'm not wasting a whole over. You want to put me up there, coach? Just saying. Oh, Oh,
There's gonna be notes sent from Camphor like at the captain's like underneath his door in the hotel room, and it's just gonna say, Tector, are you kidding me? And it's just gonna be like miss number 1, miss number 2, miss number 3. You got to give England some credit because they were like, let's just throw those high bouncers. He has no chance. Now, to his credit, he was luckily able to get a few of those, but man alive.
It was. Listen, right there were two people sweating. Okay, Tector was sweating, and your boy, your captain, I cannot pronounce his name, Barjani. I destroyed it, didn't I?
Balbernie.
There you go. Because he was thinking to myself, why didn't I put it? I guarantee you, why didn't I put in Camphor? What am I thinking? That's exactly what he said. When it came down to the end and they needed they had 2 balls to get 1 run, he must have been thinking to himself, man, if we lose this, I'm going to get some flack. Yeah, I probably should have put somebody else in. Explain to me why he blocked a forward defense on a ball. Explain that. That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know.
The only thing I can think of for why he would do that is maybe he realized himself that he's missing too much and he wants to get O'Brien on strike. So maybe we can do a 4 defense. Maybe we can squeeze in 1 run and we can get O'Brien on strike. I don't know. It's a possibility.
Maybe that's what might have been what's on this. What he should have been thinking is, listen, I suck right now. Let me just back up. Take my bat back with me, my cricket back. Please take my wicket, sir. Just go ahead and take it. You'll do less damage. Exactly. I don't have a cricket bat here. That's what he should have done. That's what he should have done. In baseball, don't get me wrong, I do this all the time. I hate, and you know exactly what I'm going to say. Your team has a rally, and it's either the ninth hitter or the pitcher in the National League who's up, and you're just like, God, please don't swing the bat. Get walked, or don't swing the bat because you're going to hit into a double play, and it drives you insane. They swing the bat, and they hit into a double play. It kills your rally. Take the out. Lay down the bunt. Do something, but don't swing into a double play. And here, that's basically what Tucker should have done. Just take the out, bro. Take the wicket, because you missed. You wasted a whole over. That's ridiculous. You wasted a free ball. How dare you? Oh.
Okay, so let's go ahead and let's let it give him a chance to breathe. We're gonna move into what we like. I will say, I was listening to the stream. How was I listening to it? I think my kids were done and they were using the bathroom or something. I was listening to the stream, and when Vince dropped that ball, it was classic. You were just sitting there, relaxed, watching the game, like, let's go, come on, England, we can do this. And you're like, oh, that's in the air. Oh, that's high enough. Oh, that's an E. That's an out. That's an out. And then all of a sudden, oh, you heathen. Bro, you can't stage that, man. Just the reaction of, oh, you heathen. Was just awesome.
It was a can of corn. I want you to go back and look at that on Willow. Fast forward the game all the way to that out, to that, which should have been a wicket. And are you kidding me? You drop him there. You dropped the match. That's what you did. Go take a cold shower. If I'm the coach, I'm pulling him out right there. You know what? Go to the showers. We'll play 1 man down. I don't know. Oh, all right.
So what did we like? Let's get into some positivity here. Oh, man. I don't want to steal your thunder again, because I've already talked about my boy. So I'm assuming for Ireland you're going to choose Sterling, so I'm going to go with Balbernie. This guy, once again, surprise, surprise, I was crushing the captain for the team I was rooting for, and I was like, this guy is not showing up at strike. This guy, obviously, he's not bowling, and this guy's making horrible decisions. Like, why is this guy the captain? Camphor, we're going to put you in the 3rd match. I was saying all that trash, right? This guy stepped up. Obviously had the genius opening partnership. Delaney was horrible, but at least the first 2 or 3 guys was great, with himself included. And he stepped out and he got a century, or he stepped up and got a century. When his team needed the most, he got a century. I got the stats right here. This guy not only got a century, but he got 113 runs on 112 balls. So he had that strike rate just barely over 100. This guy came through when his team needed the most. There was times where you can make the argument that he's like, we're Ireland. We're not going to win. Let's just play so we're respectable. And then halfway through, like, oh, man, we have a chance at this. There's an argument you can be made for that from some of the decisions, especially leaving Camphor out. But this guy went up there and he took his team on his shoulders with Sterling, and they had that amazing partnership for such a long time that when I left the stream, it wasn't too high in runs. When I came back, both of them had just barely gotten out. It was unbelievable. Great partnership, and that's what you need from a captain. Sterling, he gets the accolades, he gets the medal, the man, the match. But Balburney, he came in as a captain, and he held down the fort, and I'm super, super proud of him. He was a big part of why Ireland was able to overcome and able to upset England. On the
Let me just jump on that for a second, what you just said. In the stream, and even the commentators were saying Ireland won the toss and they're electing to bowl first. It was a kiss of death. Once they scored 329, the announcers were crushing the decision. Okay, we were crushing the decision. We're like, yeah, I guess he elected to take the death swift and early. I guess it was a good decision. So Albany, hats off to you. We always kill captains for making poor decisions, and we don't take our words back when they make good decisions. Apparently, my man knew what it was, and he wanted to chase. He felt like his boys could go out there and chase. So good on you, kid. Go ahead, Nick.
So on the England side, from captain to captain, coast to coast, we got Morgan right here, and we gave him a lot of flack because, he traded this, traded that. They said in the chat that his mom was English. Okay, moms are pretty special. Your mom's English, you play on the English side. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. You made a business decision. We all know that, but I'm fine with that. But this guy, once again, talk about a captain leading the way he leads. I was not able to see the Morgan that we kept hearing about until this third match. If I was rooting for England, you knew there would have been some Morgan rants coming. But here we go. This guy gets a strike rate of like 126. This guy has 15 fours. That's 60 runs alone right there. He had 4 sixes. That's another 24 runs. This guy, I'm sitting there watching it like, okay, Ireland has no chance. My hat is going lower and lower. Ireland's got no chance because this guy is just rake after rake after rake. He got himself a century. He put his team in the best position you would think, 328 against Ireland, who can't get higher than 212. We're good. We're going to go home early. He put his team in the best position. His roster, let's look at his roster for a second. He's got Roy going up first and Bairstow. Both those guys did not perform a combination of 5 runs. Then Vince goes in there, 16 runs. His team had 21 runs after 3 wickets. 21. Now, obviously they had more because he was in there with the partnership, but I'm just saying, without taking his share, 21 runs. He came in and he pulled down 100. That's what you need. Him and Banton. Banton put out 58, and then a little bit later, Willie put 51. Surprise, surprise. Willie's raking. Willie had just as many 4s as 6s. Got to give me a break. But my point is, both captains showed up. They both went for centuries. How special is that? They both went out there. They told their teams, this is how you lead. England went down early with some wickets. I was getting super excited. And then he busts out his 100, and the other fool busts out his 50. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. This is ridiculous. Now we're going to lose this match. That was super impressive. That is what you need from your captain, not just the smarts, but also performance. It was the reason why I was so hard on Root earlier on in the test series. This guy showed what you got to do. Super impressive.
You know what? I agree with you. He did a great job. For me, here's the thing. I understand, and no American sport, none that I can think of, maybe you can correct me here, Nick, does a captain have that kind of responsibility? It's almost too much responsibility, if you're being honest. And as a captain, again, I always find a way to bring it back to me. My squad, the West Indies, right now, they're questioning Holder because and it wasn't me. I don't even know enough about the team to say this, but they're like, you know what? Holder has to stop thinking about his friendship with Hope and think about what's best for the team, right? We talked about this on the last stream. The commentators are saying that, okay? They're putting a lot of it on Holder. Like, look, you're the captain. It's a big seat. It's a big seat. So you got a lot of decisions to make. Who's going to be on the team? Who's not going to be on the team? Who's going to bowl? Who's not going to bowl? You know what I mean? And again, we saw that play out again on both sides. So I'm glad you pointed that out. For me, I'm going to start with the England side. What did I like? My boy Rashid. Rashid. With the wrist spin, man. You know what? 2 wickets of his got stolen. Robbed. You want to know which one of them was? The drop. That's right. The drop by Vincent. Oh my gosh. You should be ashamed of yourself. You know what? if I was Rashid, I'd see him in the locker room like, bro, what'd I do to you? You know what I mean? Did I eat your tea and crumpets or something? You know, did I drink your tea, eat your crumpets or something? Like, what'd I do to you? That's a simple catch, man.
Oh no.
But bro,
Did I eat your tea and crumpets?
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, did I stick my finger in your jam or something? I don't know. What, you mad at me? Like, seriously. Think about that, bro. You said earlier, it didn't look like England had anybody that could go out and get wickets. Wrong. Again, Rashid did his job. He went and got wickets, and he did get the wicket. And I know they're going to kill me in the comments. I don't care, because I'm going to say it right now. LBW, that rule is flawed, because apparently cricket, the laws of cricket supersede the laws of physics. When you're watching in it, this on slow motion, the ball is literally, there is no way in any universe that ball was not going to take the stumps. And they're like, it doesn't matter if it takes the stump, if it's the outside leg. What? How does that make sense? That's a flawed system then. Should the point not be to make sure we get the call correct? I understand the rule. Again, you guys have explained it enough to me where I understand leg before wicket. What I'm saying is it's a dumb rule. Okay? Bottom line, it's a dumb rule. It needs to be augmented. And just because it's the rule doesn't mean it doesn't need to be changed, because tons of rules have been changed. You guys said before, in cricket, it used to be what? In Test cricket, you used to have, was it 90 overs? And then they lowered it to 80 overs. I mean, they changed rules all the time. LBW is a rule that changed. Before, it was just umpires call, right? They didn't even have review. We can't be so set in our ways that we're seeing something is flawed and we're going to say, nope, but that's how the rule's written, so that's the way it is. It's dumb. It doesn't make sense. Case in point, in the NFL, it just happened this last year. Belichick got Belichicked, okay, by the coach from the Lions. Remember? He used that stupid timeout rule and ran the clock on him or whatever. And Belichick's like, what just happened? I didn't even... It's a rule. It's a loophole. What? That's not in the sport, in the spirit of the sport. You know what I mean? That's not, in my opinion, in the spirit of true sportsmanship. Belichick does it to other teams all the time, so I'm glad it happened to him. But this year, what's the name of the coach from the Detroit Lions?
Patricia.
Yeah, Pat Patricia knew all his tricks and said, oh, yeah, I'm going to use this against you, and bled the clock out, took his penalties, and didn't let Belichick get the ball back. And Belichick's sitting there like, oh, that's how it feels. This is the same thing. It's a rule that doesn't make sense. Nick, go back and watch it. It was literally, they had it impacting the stumps. The way you see on the replay where that ball hit his pad, it was so low, there was no possible way, and so close to it, no possible way it misses the stumps. Why, oh, why do they not re-examine that rule? It drives me crazy. Again, Rashid, good on you, kid. You did your job. That would have been 2 wickets for you right there today. Of course, one got robbed by a flawed system, and your other one by your teammate. Maybe you need to take it up with him.
Flawed system. You guys see his passion for his teams, man. I mean, he'll use everything he can. You guys see it right here and here.
I'm just being real. Man. You know what I mean? All right. On the Ireland side, what did I like? I like Mr. Dad Bod, okay? We need to get him on the cover of Dad Bod magazine for all those fathers, 40 years, 40 plus. We don't all look like Adonis, but he went out and he raked. And he did not perform that well in the first 2 test games. He was okay, but he didn't perform that well. And everybody's, he could rate. He could rate. Sterling's good. Holy cow, is he good? I mean, this is what impressed me the most, Nick. And you and I both got to see this. He hit 50 and he didn't even want to lift his bat. Like, we still got work to do. He barely acknowledged it. That was Everybody awesome. Else was and he barely acknowledged it. He's like, we got work to do. That's when I said to myself, oh, this guy's a gamer. This guy's a gamer, because he knew to this point he hadn't performed for his team, and he went out there. He's like 50, bro. I'm going to score 100. I'm going to carry you guys on my back. I know that I haven't been doing my job the first 2 games, but I'm going to go ahead, throw you guys on my back, and I'm going to carry you to 142 runs. Amazing performance. I love seeing history. Right now, if you go check on Cricket Info, the title is, let me read it out for you, okay? It says, Ireland chased down historic 329. They ain't never chased down that much. And I know that's what England was thinking. Like, did we just really let them chase down 329 at home? At our house? Oh, man. Oh. It's brutal. It's brutal.
I can only imagine that Sterling when because I saw that too. I was impressed too, where he's like, "No, we got work to do." I can only imagine in his head. If it was me, I'd be playing the Rocky soundtrack in my head over and over. Bum 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 bum. Bum. Like we just got stuff to do. I ain't gonna go down no more. Cut me, Mick. Do whatever it takes, but we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. He had that music in his head. I'm telling you, because he was in the zone. People were talking to him. He's like, "Hold on, the track's not over yet." But let's get. I love this guy, but his performance and everything, it reminded me of the nickname of what was that one guy in Major League Baseball, the Big Sweat. I mean, that's a jacked up nickname. I mean, this guy, I sweat a lot too, so I feel. But when he was shaking his helmet, I mean, it was raining down. I felt bad for that, but he was putting everything he had into it, man. Everything he had,
bro. I'm telling you, I mean, Ireland put up this performance, and Camphor didn't even bat. He didn't even smell the pitch. You know what I mean? He didn't even get out there. He was in the dressing room the whole time. I mean, real talk. He said, "You know what, Camphor? I know your back hurts from carrying us the first 2 games. Go pop an ibuprofen. I got this." And he went out like doesn't he remind you like of a lumberjack? He's a man's man, dude. You know what I mean, dude? A man's man, gruffly with the beard or whatever. He went out there and man, he was impressive. Hats off to him. That's what I liked about the Ireland side. Nick, bring us home with what we learned.
All right, I'm going to try to speed this up. We're running a little long in the tooth here. I'm still cracking up at Gabe's. What did I do? Eat your tea and crumpets crack. That was awesome. So what did I learn? This is a thing that I'm going to say for both squads, what I learned. I learned that you cannot judge a player based on 1 performance or 2 performances. Case in point, Balburney. I was not too impressed in my whole 2 matches on ODI that I'd seen in my entire life. And he showed me something. Morgan, I was not impressed with my whole 2 matches I saw. He showed me something. But someone that I want to focus on, let me get to my cricket info. One thing I want to focus on is this one player, and the name is obviously at this point, it's escaping me, but I was super impressed with, it's leaving me right now. But anyways, it'll get to me in a second. You cannot judge someone based on 1 performance. You got to see what they can do in the entire thing. There it is, Young. How much was I making fun of Young for the guy who's going with Little for, trying to compete with the most runs leaking? This guy, and I'm going to check one last time to make sure, this guy, besides Delaney, he had the lowest economy rate on both sides. That's right. Your boys in England, they average like 6.5. He had the lowest economy rate on both sides besides Delaney. Delaney didn't throw nearly as much balls as Young, and Young got 3 wickets. You cannot judge a cricket player based on 1 performance or 2 performance or in 1 series. Those hundreds, those 50s, those fifers, those 3s, whatever you want to call it, those are rare. Those don't happen every time unless you're freaking Willie, who's going nuts in this series. You've got to look at the overall picture. And now that we have our idea, at least the first overall ODI series with Ireland and England, we can start to make our ideas and our assumptions, our judgments, both on both squads. But that is the main thing I learned, is to not, it's fun to crush people. It's most of it's for entertainment value for the channel. I got to be honest. It's fun to do that. It's fun to laugh about it. But those real judgments, you got to save those until you see something. And I saw something in a lot of these players in this entire series. Of course, I want to see Camphor go for his 3rd 50. That would have been historic. That would have been amazing. But all these players, for the most part, besides your boy Vince, they all showed that they were there for a reason. And I absolutely love that. That is what I learned. Not just that, but also in ODI cricket, it's just like football. Any given Sunday, any team can win if they're hungry enough, and Ireland was hungry enough. They were able to chase within 1 run. England gets 328. There's no chance, and they're able to chase it. That's what I learned.
What did I learn? Okay. I learned that I hate LBW. I hate leg by wicket. I really do. Okay, the rule is flawed, and I know I'm gonna get crushed again in the comments, but it is what it is. Try to be an objective fan and say to yourself, if we have the technology to get it right, why don't we? And I get it. You don't want to take all the calls out of the umpire's hands, but let's just be candid. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of them that the system misses. You know what I mean? And you're like, come on, let's just get it right. Let's get it right. But with that being said, I think that what I learned the most from this test match, from this ODI match, is that while ODI is entertaining because you get that one day, you know what I mean, ups and downs, I still love Test more, man. Test is so much fun. It's the grind. It's the series. It's the day after day. Yes, you might have got me the first inning, but I still get my half of that inning. And guess what? Even if I lost the first inning, we still get the second inning. So there's so much there that can happen, and you can play out for the draw. You know what I mean? Where that wasn't really an option today. A draw wouldn't have worked out. The best you could have done was getting a tie, because you couldn't even go to super over today. And everybody knows what they say about ties, like kissing your sister. You know what I mean? So I mean, those are the two things I really came away from this entire test. This entire ODI series. While I enjoyed myself and I was glad to see England win, I was glad to see a little bit of history. Overall, I still enjoyed my first test series with the West Indies and England. And I'm probably being a little biased because now, I'm a bigger West Indies fan. That's my home team, so to speak, you know what I mean? As somebody from the Caribbean, I just think it's a more entertaining form of cricket. That, and again, I just feel like LBW is flawed.
So I'm going to add one last thing. Something that the viewers learned was that run rate does matter. It's not the end all be all. It's not. I get it. But man, it does matter because it gives you that projection of where you're looking at. Again, I would use it as with my roster adjustments. If I have to make those, we need a 7 or 8 run rate. We're getting 5.5, 6. Who are my big boppers? Who can get me the 4s and the 6s and not just throw away a wicket? I'm looking at you, Delaney. So run rate does matter.
Oh man. Listen, it mattered in this game. You know what I mean? Wait, well, listen, when it's run rate, you don't want to get a guy out there like, what's the boy from England that was up there? Remember he had like 129. Yeah, you don't want to get a guy out there that plays at a Sibley rate. You don't want a test cricketer out there. You want a T20 cricketer out there, especially when you're chasing runs and you're running out of overs. So it does matter, to your point, Nick. And I knew I was going to hear about it, but it is what it is. My Yankees are in first place, 8-1. Just had to say that.
The Yankees are playing well. They are in an easier division, though. So we are going to end this our 3 weeks. I had to do it by saying thank you so much for watching. I'm super excited that you guys asked for the R3 Wickets. I love that you love this segment. We love doing it. I mean, look, we don't have any video that we have to rely on to react to. It's just us talking, and we love that you love that. I appreciate everything with you guys sticking with us. I appreciate, there he is, Gabe over there, and what he brings to the channel and how this is our channel, and he brings that. I still appreciate Boring Reviews, but thanks for checking us out. And as always, until next time, go Ireland.